Hi guys, it's Fully here. I hope you're all doing well and welcome to another video. It's not on the main series, unfortunately. It is all about the new mobile UI. Seeing as this channel is 100% mobile content and my Ironman is that's quite funny actually, fully locked to only using a mobile phone. That's the whole thing about the series, and this new UI brings so many changes for us. It's almost rewriting the entire meta of actually how to play the game, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Let's get stuck in and have a look at the new features of the UI. Just so we're all on the same page, UI stands for User Interface. We'll be using that terminology throughout the video, so I thought that I'd define that before we even start, okay? I've also seen this used interchangeably with TLI, which stands for Top Level Interface, and I believe they're interchangeable, same thing. I like calling it the UI because it's a lot easier. Let's address the elephant in the room. All of the side stone buttons have been moved to the right. I believe the reasoning behind this was to have some standardization between the mobile and the desktop client. And unfortunately, I fundamentally disagree with this change. I genuinely feel that this is the start of a slippery slope where we are just straying so far away from the fundamental basis of what mobile was originally intended for, and the design decisions that were made to be able to let people who literally just have a mobile phone to use it with ease. Never fear. To take its place, we have a set of hotkeys that have been put on the left side. And while this is a really nice gesture and there's some good thoughts behind it, it's still not quite a replacement for the stones on the left, because all of the interfaces, they open on the right. And I'm going to be hammering this home during this entire video, that forcing everything to open on the right is going to overload the right hand. And this is especially critical during high level PVM. And I will explain this a bit further, and I'll show you video examples and exactly where this happens and why it's such a big problem, but just keep that in the back of your mind. We will figure out a solution for this, I'm sure we will. A lot of people are giving the same feedback as well, which is a good sign that a lot of people agree with this. And at the end of this video, I will give some recommendations and some ideas that I've come up with to try and address this problem. Like, believe me, I'm not here to just pull this thing apart and shut it down. Like, a lot of the other changes are really positive, and I'm actually super impressed. There's just a few things that just need a little bit of tweaking. And while I'm on the positive hype train, the tap to drop function now activates immediately, as opposed to having this one tick delay before it would even activate, that's really cool. I love that. That's such a good change. Now, moving on, we've got a new button in the bottom left-hand corner, and that's the pop-out button. That allows you to access the menus such as the loot tracker, and it also allows you to open the XP tracker as well. Two of these functions which we already did have on mobile, but they were accessed by this objectively ugly big bar on the right-hand side. But that served a very good purpose, because for some mobile devices, the ability to change the margins or the dead zones on the left and the right side was removed, and the only way you could push the buttons from the outside into the inside was to have this big bar on the right side to push it in. So it did serve its function, but yeah, you don't see it in my videos because I chop it out, because it looks not great. Moving on to the minimap, nothing has changed there. It's pretty much exactly the same orbs, and you can still minimize it. And that results in a very neatly aligned set of orbs, which I think is a really good improvement. That's good. And finally, we have the chat box on the left-hand side, which can be expanded to show all of the different filters. And the chat box itself can be expanded as well. God knows why, but that's a feature. Enjoy. And that completes the grand tour of the new mobile UI. Now, let's get into some gameplay. I'm going to show you a lot of the things that I did during the UI. I'm going to explain the problems, and I'm going to explain the good things about it, the bad things about it, and at the end, I'll recommend a few changes to make it a fantastic new upgrade. Let's go. So, initial thoughts. Responsiveness-wise, very similar. Yep. Very similar. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's cool. Yes, I agree. That's good. I enjoy that. That's fine. Right, so best in-slot hotkeys. We want tap to drop, hotkey in inventory 2, prayer 3, spellbook 4, and then highlight tile 5. There it is, highlight tile 5. Nice. And then this should really be straightforward. Because Vorkath is very straightforward because there's no prayer switching really. Not bad. Yeah, to really test it, we are going to have to do something like Zulrah. Something that's very prayer focused, or even the corrupted Gauntlet. That might be good to try it. Because I mean, this is pretty brain dead. Oh, come on. It felt longer than normal, to be honest. Loves these dragonfire attacks, come on. Wow, this is so slow. What happened to my hits? They're gone. Oops, too early. GG. I'm just hitting zeros now. What was that? A 4 and a 0. He's drunk a Saradomin brew or something. Yeah, what is going on? I nearly went into another acid phase. Yeah, if that gave me anything... Imagine if it gave me a visage, I would probably snap this phone in half. So, nothing's changed with the Vorkath. I think this is a very poor assessment of the beta. But it's kind of nice to know that if it does go through, then it's pretty safe to do Vorkath. Absolutely fine. So that gets the tick of approval. So it is time to do some Zulrah, and I have not done Zulrah for a long time. I'd say over a year. The last Zulrah I did was for the Serpentine Visage, and man, that was a lot. That was a while ago. That was probably closer to even 2 years ago. So we'll see how this goes. The first rotation might be a bit rough. But I do remember having a big gap in between going for my Tanzanite Fang and the Serpentine's Visage, and when I did return to Zulrah, I retained a lot of the information, and so hopefully this time around will be the same. Okay, so yeah, the first issue that I'm finding is that it's really hard to lazy flick and move at the same time. So that might be an issue. Where else would that be bad? Carefree, that could be bad. That's basically just movement and also lazy flicking piety. So that'll be hard. Other than that, like it's going okay. I would arguably say it is worse because my right hand is literally doing everything. Everything. Like it is nice having everything in the one spot, but having your right hand have to do everything, that's tiring. And I think that's going to, over time, cause a bit of RSI, if I'm completely honest. Because it's having to do everything. Yes, there is a bit of workload split, but I mean literally the only thing that my left hand is doing is tapping either the inventory, the prayers, or the spells. And that's really it. I can sometimes attack the boss if it's on the left side of the screen, but because my left hand is holding the phone, it has no range to do any tapping for movement because it can't reach the other side of the screen. I mean, that's interesting. Like, it's doable. Like, in every sense of the word, it's not game breaking. It can be managed. It just is not comfortable. It's a clear downgrade of the previous iteration where we had the stones on the left and all of the interfaces popped up on the left. So that was a job for the left hand to do. And prayers were perfect because your thumb could interact with the entirety of the interface. That was fine. Spells as well. The freedom to have your right hand being able to both interact with the interfaces on the right side, but also be able to reach anywhere on the screen readily and with accuracy by just tapping with a finger. That is no longer a luxury. Like it's your hand is doing everything now. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but yeah, initially not great. I think that if like the hotkeys were to open on the left side, so if you interacted with any of the hotkeys, that interface would open up on the left side, and that would be perfect to have the prayers on that side, to have the spells on that side, and like, yeah, what else could you have on that side? You could even have the like the attack styles on that side, or you could unequip items from that side. That would be cool. If that was changed, that would be amazing. And I'd be like, yep. Sorry, I'm getting absolutely railed. I kind of lost my train of thought. If everything that you tapped and interacted with on the left on the hotkeys, that interface should appear on the left, and that should be a toggle, and that allows people who put. Okay, this is a whole nother kettle of fish. If this offends you, I'm sorry, but if you have a keyboard and a mouse plugged into your phone to play the mobile client, I regret to inform you that you are not a mobile player anymore. That you can't drive and voice your opinions for changes for something that you should really be doing on a PC. Like, I know, hard truth, hard to swallow pill, am I right? But come on, the mobile client is for mobile phones where you use your hands. Like, look at the promo for it. They had like a goblin, or I think it might have been even Bandos, holding it with his hands. When they did all the promo for it, they didn't have Bandos sitting down at the computer desk with a OTG adapter on the side of his phone, which had a mouse, a keyboard, a f***ing cooling fan. It's designed for people with hands and just using it on the go. Like it's just it's a slippery slope. We're adding tile markers, we're adding entity hide. I think this will be the downfall of mobile. It is going to stray too far away from what it originally was intended for, and it is going to end up as a RuneLite clone, to where it does not suit normal mobile play where you're holding it in your hands and playing it. It's going to end up suiting the people who plug 19 peripherals into their mobile phone to play a mobile game, which should really be played on a desktop if they want all of those appendages. That's just my opinion. I hope that they do take this feedback, that we want things to be as mobile to the core as possible. And that means I want my left thumb to be able to interact with things on the left side of the screen. Or else, what is it doing? It's basically a menu selector for my right hand to do 95% of the grunt work. That's as best as I can voice my thoughts on it so far. And I hope that's succinct, and I hope that makes sense. And I mean, all of the high level mobile players that come into the Discord and I have a chat with, and they've achieved some amazing things. All of them, they just use their hands. They don't have all of this keyboard and mouse nonsense. But yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion, and you feel free to disagree with me, that's okay. Anyway, so overall, I'm finding Zulrah not bad, but not overly impressed. My right hand's actually starting to feel a little bit crampy, to be honest. Anyway, I'm just going to do a few more kills. It's probably, an element of this is probably just unfamiliarity, but I want to exclude that by doing at least, I don't know, 10, 15 kills, and then we'll see what happens. But so far, Zulrah is doable. It's just not as good as the old client. This should be kill 1810. That will bring us to a total of 10 kills using the beta. Yeah, like it's just solidifying my thoughts, and yeah, right hand is getting very overloaded. And there's the kill. Oh no! What? Magma! Mutagen! Whoa! No, they can't do that. That's not fair. What is our luck? What is it? I don't know what the exact drop rate is for this, but I know it is super, super rare. And to get this during 10 kills, testing on a beta world that gets deleted. Anyway, well, we might as well make it. We've got our Serpentine Helm here, so let's fuse them together to make the Magma Helm, and I guess enjoy it for the rest of the beta testing. That's just so fully mobile, isn't it? That's just really in line with the series, so I'm not surprised. I'm genuinely not surprised. I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, it's a bit upsetting, but you know, shit happens, doesn't it? What we can do though is we can get a hotkey and have that mapped to the emotes. In this case, we could hit the emote button and throw up the 2-tick cry. That is huge. The 2-tick bloody cry. Yep, I am absolutely done with Zulrah. Goodbye, Zulrah, I'm not coming back. My commentary still stands. I don't like everything being on the right side. My right hand needs to go to the hospital, and I need a hand replacement. That was genuinely the worst prep of my life, oh my goodness. Well, welcome back to the corrupted Gauntlet, where we have spent well over 350 hours of our life here. And we are back for some testing. Obviously, everything's going to be a bit rusty because we haven't done any CG since that last video, which was last year in October. So yeah, literally a year ago. And we're coming back. I've still retained all the information. I know how to prep, I know the mechanics, so it's going to be a lot easier, but the kills are going to be pretty shit. I'll run probably, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 of these. I don't want to spend too much time on these beta worlds because everything gets deleted, and if I roll one of those enhanced seeds and I miss out on a Blade of Saldor, I am going to break door. Am I right? So I'm already finding that my right hand is doing absolutely everything. It's wanting to move, it's wanting to change prayers, it's wanting to do everything because, yeah, left hand's just sitting there and it is selecting the menus, but still it's not adding enough value. It could be adding a lot more value if we had some of those interfaces on the left side. And I think I'm going to find it with all this content is that it's going to be doable, but it's not going to be optimal for mobile play. That's what it boils down to, I think. And I don't think I need to do much more testing in the way of like hard content, because I know it's just going to amplify the issue and it's going to be a lot worse. Yeah, I've already found what I don't like about it already. It's good that I've identified that issue and we haven't sunk too much time into testing. So that's good. It's some really good feedback, I think, for the devs. They need to know this. They don't spend all day playing this game. I do, so I think my opinion and a lot of everyone else's opinion, they align, and I think it's very valuable for them. Boom, we got it across the line. It wasn't fancy and it wasn't looking good, but we got it across the line. It might get better over time, but I'm not expecting to do very much in the way of CG. I already don't like it. I'm getting PTSD being in this place again. It just brings me back to when I was grinding the ever-loving hell out of this. So I had COVID during the time, meaning I had to self-isolate for 7 days. And during those 7 days, I racked up, I want to say like 11-hour days of just running the Gauntlet. So I would have done like at least 400 runs, 400, 500 runs. Nice. Cool, thanks Jagex, I hate it. That's all the CG I am willing to do. Once again, interfaces on the right, very, very hard on my hand. I already got a hand replacement at the hospital and I'm gonna have to go back because now I've got RSI and I'm probably gonna need like a robotic hand or something. not too long ago we were already here in the tombs of Amascut, and so it kind of strangely feels like home. It's kind of nice. It's almost making me want to run some more on my main account on the main worlds, but I wonder, like, we've already got the 2 items that I wanted to. I could do another Tombs of Amascut video, maybe a little bit further on in the future. Anyway, we're here to test Tombs of Amascut. I'm not going to stay around for a 300 completion. I just want to, I don't know, get a feel for how it is. I know it's going to be worse, and I just want to find out what exactly is worse about it. I may reset a few times, but as I said here, I'm not going to sink too much time into these beta worlds because the progress doesn't even carry over, so there's no incentive to just keep testing when we know exactly what's wrong with the client. So Barbar doesn't change very much. It's almost in the same category as Vorkath, where it's quick prayers, movement, attacking. That's really it. Maybe a bit of gear switching when you're running up and doing the boulders, but yeah, mechanics wise, it's no different. It's only in the bosses where you need to change your prayers all the time. I think we can have a really, really terrible time with Arca, but everything else should be okay. Oh my goodness, yeah. This is terrible, yeah. I think I predicted this when we were doing Zulrah, but yeah. Kefri is terrible. It's like Prayer Flick City, and everything's done by your right hand. It's like move, flick prayer, back again. Oh, no, I don't like this. This used to be one of the most chill rooms, and now it's the sweatiest fucking room that will send you to the hand clinic. Wow. I'm just spending so much mental powers trying to prayer flick, move, like all in the same time, that I'm not putting the dung in the right place, and I'm just clowning everything. Like, this is a lot worse than normal. Yep, that's a goated Krondus room. Nice. That doesn't change. Yeah, again, like Krondus is, yeah, just camping the same prayers, moving. Yeah, like Krondus is fine. Krondus is pretty chill most of the time. I'm moving the prayers to the right is not really going to affect it that much. But it's one of the rare instances where it actually doesn't really have much of an effect, having this new UI. Nice. See ya, Krondus. I actually enjoyed that quite a lot. Not because of the new UI, just because it's just such good content. Krondus is my favorite, and I love using my Bofa, my Bow of Ferdinand. Oh, now we're on to Arca, and mark my words, we're going to get carpet bombed. Yeah, same issue again. The moving and quick prayering, that's toxic for sure. Why is it so bad, you might ask? It's because normally when you have, so you're holding your phone, right, and you have it on the left side, you're just able to just tap it at the right times. And then just move freely, like you have your whole hand just to move. And then your whole left thumb takes care of all the prayers. So the prayers are all sorted, you get them tick perfect, and you can move freely, wherever you want, at any time with your right hand, because it's free. It will be an absolute crying shame if they push this update and everything has to be on the right. If I had to do more TOA in this current state, I would be forcing myself to do content that would, I would just be so unhappy. Genuinely so unhappy. Yep, as the prophecy foretold, I just got carpet bombed because I just was not paying attention. That has to be a sign I'm done with testing. I've spent probably a good 5-6 hours testing this. So, we are done. So after playing the beta for 6 hours approximately, overall the beta is very promising, and these are my proposed changes in order to make it perfect. Just while I was playing around with different configurations, I found that the hotkeys on the left are slightly out of alignment to the buttons on the right hand side, and I don't know if this is just some sort of oversight, but symmetry is quite attractive, and I would prefer if these were brought into matching alignment with the side stones. Better yet, why don't we move the pop-out button up and then take the hotkeys and have them toggle from the bottom of the screen. That means that when the hotkeys are minimized, they're not just floating randomly in no man's land. And here is the most important change. I want interfaces to open up on the left. Look how beautiful that is. Gorgeous. This element of customization will give mobile users the freedom to just customize to their own playstyles, and that is just the most important thing. I don't want to shut people out. There are some people who are really enjoying everything on the right side, and each to their own, that is fine. There just needs to be more customization. There cannot be a one-size-fits-all for mobile because there's just too many playstyles. And obviously, if we want to move forward with mobile, we need to update the UI. And the Jagex employees have said this time and time again, that there is no way to implement these really cool features without a UI overhaul. And I think this is the best way to work together, is to come up with a compromise, dead set in the middle, where we have the customization for all mobile players to enjoy the game how they want. Forcing a change so fundamental is going to disrupt the freedom of some mobile players, and it's going to turn them away from the game, and I don't want that. I want this game to flourish. I've been playing RuneScape exclusively on mobile for over 5 years, and honestly, I've had the time of my life. It has been fantastic. Please don't change that. Some final, tidying up suggestions would be, I do not like any of these upper left buttons. They're disgusting. So I propose, I know, controversial, right? We go back to how it was, and all those buttons which were a problem before, we have solutions for them. Let's put the logout button around the minimap. And instead of that tiny speech bubble that used to be next to our names, we can have a dedicated chat button which can sit just alongside the logout button. We can then shift the minimap icon over towards all the other orbs where it feels right at home. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And thank you so much for sitting through this video. It is a lot of talking, I know, but I really wanted to make a video that was both A, engaging, and B, I wanted to be able to offer some insight and give you guys my thoughts on what I think of the new UI. Next video, back to the main series, we will be achieving 99 prayer, and that requires a lot of dragon bones. I look forward to seeing you guys then. Take care.